Hey,
So
hey,
I
Christina.
understand that there's some
Private circle.
confusion.
But
Private
I was
circle,
eating
hon.
with
Private
Carter.
Hi,
circle.
Becky.
Go away.
By the
Uh,
way, I found the morphine cabinet.
I get the EMTs, EMS people over towards the bushes, please, and I'll address you guys, and then we can come back and talk to everybody else.
Okay.
Right.
He's in
Look what you
trouble.
did.
Nobody's in trouble.
Just if you're gonna
Ray,
Look
fire
what you
anyone,
did,
fire
you
my
piece of
son.
shit.
He doesn't give me shit.
I know, don't worry.
raid their morphine
Can I
cabinet.
fire somebody?
I know.
Get the morphine cabinet. Morphine.
Cigarette in the bush
Yeah,
part
come over here. Come over.
Oh, that.
Christina,
He's
Jordan, look what
Christina.
she did.
Over here.
No, no,
Christina?
don't tell. No, no.
What did you dispose of in the bush?
Get over here. No jokes. I'm trying. I got to be serious here for a second.
Mhm.
Understand there's
Lighter
some
cash.
confusion on how the hiring
Why
of
not?
Simon was handled.
Because you're not paying.
I understand that he is not having to go through a recruit phase, and the only reason that is because he has applied to be a doctor. I don't have a training regimen for doctors right now. Anybody who applies to be a doctor, I slap them on the roster, and unless they have no medical training whatsoever, in which case we would have them go the recruit route, I don't know what to do with them, because if they don't want to go out in the field, I'm not going to force them to put on the uniform and go out in the field. He explicitly stated to me before applying that he's just tired of being in the field and he wants to work at a single building. So I placed him on the doctor side of the roster, and he's going to be a surgeon. He's not going to run calls unless he's the absolute last auxiliary and we're swapped. So that would be the reason that he's not having to go through the recruit phase. He has prior knowledge as an Army medic, so he doesn't need to be taught the first aids and the ABCs and whatnot. That is the only reason that he is skipping kind of the recruit phase. I am working, now that we're getting more actual doctor applications, I am working to try to figure out how to handle that side, because you guys, I don't know if you know this, but the entire EMS system was built on paramedics. And then when I and somebody else decided we would rather be surgeons, they just kind of created that side of the roster and said, have at it. And at that point, it was just me and Robbie King. And for the longest time, we didn't have, it's just me and Robbie King. And I had not gotten any real applicants, so I had kind of neglected building a system to send them through recruiting phases. Because most of the time, when they want to be a doctor, they already have medical training. So I apologize if it ruffled anybody's feathers or rubbed anybody the wrong way. I'm not giving him any particular special treatment. I'm just doing what I feel is best in his situation, because his situation is more unique than other situations.
If that's the case, what's the point of the whole medic rank then? Because the medic rank was specifically made between people choosing between paramedic and doctor when they can just do that as a recruit.
Joe and I have discussed getting rid of the medic rank entirely now that Gordon is off of it, and the recruits and the recruits are still in the recruit phase. We have discussed getting rid of that completely. That's an old byproduct of the Charlie May regime.
I think something's going on over here.
No, that's why I've been asking. That's my whole confusion on the whole thing of him even being over on the doctor's side, because no one's told me that he's not going recruit, that he's going straight doctor, because I assumed he was going to recruit.
That is my apologies.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I just want to know, because since I'm lead paramedic and I'm assuming we're going the same route as we always have been, that he's going straight recruit. Like everybody's going straight recruit for everyone. So if they're not, then that's perfectly fine. I just didn't know which way we're going.
I have a question. If they don't go through the recruit phase, are they allowed to take their ambulances and go on runs?
Have an ambulance. The main reason they are not going through recruit phases is because they are not planning on leaving the hospital unless it is absolutely necessary. If we had 8 officers down and all of us were responding to the scene, I would let a recruit go in one of my buses to the scene, and it would be in that similar vein of a situation.
Jasmine, I'm not trying to point fingers, but Jasmine goes on calls all the time, but she's
above a recruit role.
But she skipped the recruit role. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like I said, when they apply to be doctors, I have yet to figure that side out. I understand they go on calls. They go on calls with you guys. They go on calls when they can. I personally have never run the EMT side. I don't know why anybody who's... One reason we're trying to get rid of the medics so that when you guys can knock out the recruit checklist as fast as possible, we can get you up to EMTs and get your own damn buses. I'm still trying to feel all this out, so I apologize if it's rubbing anybody the wrong way. I need to talk with you, Luna, and Joe about what to do for the surgeon side, because right now I just have people applying. They already have prior medical experience. I toss them up on the roster and then let them observe surgeries, do surgeries, and they aren't meant to go out on runs unless they're the absolute auxiliary.
Well, I have ideas. I don't get talked to about really anything. So I just came as lead paramedic, and I have to ask you and
Luna,
Joe on
they
how to
should
do my
actually
own position.
speak to Luna more.
Somebody's trained me on my said position. I have to ask about promotions. I have to ask about doing this. I have to ask about doing that. So I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Your questions in our supervisor chat.
The thing is I don't have questions now. When I have questions, I have to reach out to you guys, but nobody's basically, I'm like told, here, you're lead paramedic now, and now I have to figure out what to do.
I can't.
Oh, I can talk to you about the surgery thing because I can figure out the surgery thing. It won't be that difficult. It's just a matter of I'm lead paramedic. I have my recruits first, and they would have to technically be second because I can't train them if I'm going to go out on the field.
Not meant to train. Are we okay? So I'm confused. Are you talking about the surgery side now, or are you still talking about the
literally
paramedic
I don't
you
know.
just said
Then
I
I'm
have
confused.
to help you with figuring out the surgeon
You
side
don't have
with
to
Joe.
help.
Yeah,
You don't have to
it's
help.
not getting
me do a
confusing.
thing. I'm just asking. I'm going to ask your input because you're one of our supervisors.
That's literally helping to me. That's what I'm saying.
I think what she is trying to say is that she wants to learn her side, learn her team, and figure out what. Oh shit! Hold on, I got it.
All right. Well then, Jesus Christ.
What the hell is that?
I will help you train for your side.
Is what I can do as a lead paramedic. I know myself as EMS. I got that part. It's of the stuff that now I'm a leader, what I can do as a leader, which that's not a question for you, it's a question for Joe. And Joe 2.0 hasn't said jack shit to me on this doing this position in general. So it's nothing about you. My point is about the whole me assisting you by putting my input in the surgeon thing. That's literally what I was just talking about.
We have all these cop cars
care
here,
about
not a single police officer.
You helping me on the EMT side. That's perfectly fine. That's a Joe question.
You and I can discuss that later in private. Just trying to get everybody's understanding right now about why he didn't have to go through a specific recruitment phase.
Fine.
As long as everybody's...
Quick question on that topic with him.
Where are you guys? Where are they at?
A lot of
Radio them on their channel and see where they're at then.
Speak with Jordan, and he said like
They might have just left.
kind of worried that it might be a bit of a conflict of interest because since he's been a doctor, he's just been glued to Jasmine's hip.
Send it.
You want to come up to the top of this
Like with everything, like, and I know them two are like together,
Yeah,
and
fine.
I don't want it to be like a conflict of interest thing where he gets
Are you
too
guys towards the
distracted
front?
while he's on
Yeah,
duty.
you have
If
to
you get
go
what I
up
mean.
the back side.
I understand what you're saying, and I will keep a close eye on it, but this point, unless he's actively like missing out on doing surgeries that we need him for.
Yeah, actually, I think I have a
can't tell
question
him to
because
just leave Jasmine
there
alone.
is definitely a certain element
Because
of doctors needing to do doctors' work and EMTs needing to do EMT work. Currently, if we are running in and then escorting
I
them,
know when he was a cop,
I think I should
he
ask
did
them
the
this.
same thing as a cop. Like he would neglect.
Let's see what they say.
But he'd be on duty and he'd neglect certain calls and just sit around pillbox, like kind of up Jasmine's ass. Like I don't like I don't want him to do the same thing here. You know what I mean?
I understand, and the difference between here and there is that we don't have 40 plus people to babysit across the entire city.
Yeah.
We have a handful of people that I keep an eye on around Pillbox. If he's not doing his position, then please let me know and I will get on to him about it. Otherwise, I'm going to come in with a clean slate for him and not, what he did on PD is what he did on PD. Personally, I've never worked PD. I don't know how much work they're required to do and how many calls they're required to visit. But for him, if he's not, if we need him in a surgery and he doesn't go to a surgery, then we'll tackle that issue as it comes up. He's not meant to go out in the field unless
let her finish, then I'll ask, because I want to know what they have before
EMTs and ambulance trained doctors are balls.
So, I mean, I'm new here and I'm just a recruit, but I have a couple of questions. Whenever you guys are ready.
What?
Hello?
Waiting on you. What's up?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so no, I was just thinking about a couple of things. So now that we have Jasmine and we have Han on the roster, does that mean that once we bring in patients, we don't need to jump into surgery as assistants and other things? That we'll always have people here?
I think the only time we ever will is if we end up getting swamped like the many times we have the last few days where the freaking cops, where there's 6 of them and there's only like 4 of us and there's only 2 surgeons. There is only 2 surgeons. If there's only Christina and Jasmine, for example, or Jasmine and Horn, for example, and there is me and you and Jordan, you and Jordan are going to do surgery regardless of what happens.
Okay.
That's
Sierra 11 to any other doctors on
and all right, yeah, cool.
But if it's where it's only one patient and there's both of them, we let them handle it unless they need our assistance for anything, basically.
Fair enough.
Exactly what
Perfect.
she just said.
10-9.
The EMT side, in a perfect world, the EMT side is meant
I've
to
got
go pick them up, treat them on the scene, and if they need actual surgery, bring them back to Pillbox, dump them in my OR, and then my doctors and I will handle it. From there, then you guys can go back out to wait on calls. Unfortunately, with our peaks and valleys system, we get inundated and EMTs sometimes have to...
Not on the comms right now. She's currently talking to us. When she's done, she'll come talk to you. Just give us a minute.
EMTs have to go into surgery to assist us, and doctors have to go out on calls. That's why I'm trying to get enough doctors on the doctor side so that you guys don't have to assist unless you choose to assist in a surgery. Because I know a lot of you would rather be out there picking up calls, picking up people, and picking up the money for picking up the people, rather than standing there and handing me a fucking scalpel.
I mean, it's both ways. I mean, sometimes it's okay, but I was just trying to see how it's planned. What's the plan and where we are going with that, which is okay. I get a better understanding now.
That's basically the plan, because right now, currently, we have, two people that we have to interview left. That I think one of them actually wants to just be EMT. The other one
coming
might
in.
be,
He's got second-degree burns on the arms. They have to clean up with saline as well as wrapped in some gauze.
Essentially, we're rising up the ranks in the doctor's side. So then, me, you, Nova, and Jordan, and whoever else is in the EMS side, do not have to do surgery if we don't absolutely need to.
Okay.
That's the ideal world we're having right now. Which, fortunately, we're having that. It's just a matter of the doctors just getting on when they can. So then we don't have to worry about that. But in the chance, like I said, we have more than one patient that isn't covered by a doctor, then we're going to have to assist. But the ideal world, from what I'm understanding now, is when you get interviewed, you get to decide where you're going, and then we go from there, rather than having to do the whole jack mess that we had before, which personally, I agree it actually works, because if you don't want to be out in the field, why would we put you through the field? But at the same time, like, if you like helping out with surgeries, that doesn't mean you can't just, like, I've done it to Christina multiple times. I've asked her if she needs assistance, because it's not like it's a bad thing for you to ask. It's just that's their main job, and our main job is to be out on the field. So you could just pick and choose if you want to, but at the end of the time, you know, it's we're EMT. We're the ones that are going out in the field, and that's our main priority.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've had jumped into plenty of surgeries. I had to work all night last night by myself, doing both bringing in and surgeries if I could.
Yes.
Oh, it happens.
Came up at the end of the conversation where I said,
yes,
in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to do that.
Yes,
that's why I'm trying to hire more doctors.
I just can't wait to you know, finish up my training and be able to get out
here's
there.
the thing, Nova. Are you coming on duty at all tonight?
Yeah, I'm getting on duty in a bit after this
I will
conversation, actually.
you two, you and Catch actually are almost. You're almost done, and he's almost done. We just have to have him do a lot more. We just have to have you guys do a lot more calls and a lot more pickups for people. So then you guys would be set to go. Because I already talked to Joe about it. Because I wanted to see what he was thinking, and I told him what I thought about you guys, to kind of get you guys up to, so we can get you guys to get your own ambos and start to invoice and all that, so you guys don't have to rely on myself or Jordan or Sammy or Dolly or whoever else is around, to just be with you, or even ask permission to just come on or go use an ambo.
If,
I love going around with people. I don't mind that.
If Luna's okay with it, I'll gladly take one of you guys and let you
I
run
want
it.
to get out of the recruit outfit.
I know, trust me.
I know.
Did too.
Me and Christina hate the recruit outfit 100%. I wish it would just burn.
I don't mind everything else. I just want to get out of the recruit outfit.
Yeah. And now identify as Corporal Mayfair of the BCSO and Corporal Mayfair of the Fire Department.
Why don't we just
where's the oh, you're not talking about the actual fire department that we're trying to start. Gotcha.
No, I'm talking about the actual fire department, because I just had to go up on a building and save Rashid from falling, and also dealt with a helicopter that may or may not have exploded up in my face.
You're going to have to fight Joe for a fire department.
Congratulations. We're trying to tackle some, I'm trying to help understand some roster stuff with the
A private conversation.
Sandy, if he really wants to listen to us talk back and forth about the EMT rosters.
No, he's not the one.
What you said is absolutely correct, Luna. You and I will talk later in private regarding what your position is, because as the medical director, it's ultimately up to me. Not just the guy who moved up from your position, but it's up to me as well.
Yeah, but I need him. I need him to at least give me something rather than be like, here you go, have fun. Like,
I understand, but Joe doesn't operate like that, so I need to operate like that. I will talk to you in private, and we'll get everything squared away for you as best as I can, and whatever else, I'll poke Joe in the back of the head. It's not fine. We're going to discuss it.
Okay, I'm just saying it's fine. I'm just saying it's fine as in, like, I understand.
Okay, well, you use it's fine for 50 different things, sweetheart.
Well, welcome to Luna's world. Congratulations.
I know. Oh, God's sakes, I own a fucking 50-acre farm in Luna's world.
Wow.
All's next.
Stop. No, Mom thinks she's chubby.
Can't wait.
Sweetheart, that's why we're going to get you through the checklist. Thankfully, you guys have reminded me. I floated the idea through the supervisor's chat that I want to get rid of the medic role. We've only had one guy go through it, and I promised to compensate him for lost time. And I want everybody to skip it because, personally, I don't see why you have to.
The fact is, you have to go through one training to get to the next training, which is all another training. You don't get to learn your own.
And not to mention, that training is time-based, and I don't agree with that at all. So, Luna, are you in agreement that we should probably just get rid of the medic portion?
Oh yeah, because I already had because I already had a plan of how to even just train the EMS without even having the whole goddamn medic thing. Because if they want to be a doctor, hell, just go put them on your side. If
they don't need
EMS,
to go through
they can
what
be
we're
on mine.
doing.
They don't have to go through the middle ground, because that's what it was for. And I was actually agitated at the fact that I was recruit for a week, and then she put I'm sorry, it got put there as a rule, and so I felt like I was literally just put a step behind of where I wanted to be. And
that's how I felt the whole.
Yeah, I disagree that the role should be there. Like, it shouldn't have been there in the first place.
We're gonna work on it. As long as Joe doesn't raise any major issues, you and I put it 2-0 right now that we need to get rid of the medic role.
Alright, that's kind of good for me, I guess,
If
in case that happens. If I ever move
If he
up.
fights back, then he and I will have a private discussion in my emails regarding it.
Because there's nothing that the medic part should be doing that a recruit cannot. Because if anything, if they go recruit the EMT, then the EMT can start invoicing everything. The medic, that's what that basically was for, is a middle ground. There's no reason for a middle ground at this point. You recruit, then you go up. Sorry. Never liked it in the first place.
So the good news is, I remember Joe in my email saying that he thought we should get rid of the medic role too. So that should probably be abolished before you guys pass on recruit and go with the EMTs. That way we don't have to worry about weird rules like you can come on duty but you can't go out with your ambulance. You can't get an ambulance, so people that are hurt have to be brought here. It didn't make any fucking sense then. It doesn't make any fucking sense now.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do, and I've already, since poor Jordan had to go through the entire thing right before we are going to fix it, I'm going to compensate him for that. And then everybody else...
Up again?
No, I'm not bumping him up again. I'm paying out giving him a lost wage bonus.
Okay.
I feel it's only fair that he went through the entire thing, and that I know. I don't want this to be the kind of place
you don't think I could be an AEMT? I see you over there.
I actually think you should. I absolutely 100% think you should be AEMT.
So I just don't want this to be the kind of place where he had to go through our mistakes, and then when we fix them, we just say, "Oops, sorry." You know, I want him to feel that he's treated as fairly as everybody else. I
agree, because basically we just need to quote unquote fix what happened before and make it better and more streamlined. That's how I feel about it. It's just it wasn't streamlined before, and now we're basically making it that way.
Is everybody? I can tell Nova's getting bored. We're almost done, sweetheart.
Hey, Nova.
Checking if anyone was over there, but apparently everyone's left.
They left all their cars and just dipped.
I assume that.
Garage it, and then when they come back, they'll be like, "Well, you guys should just."
So, is everybody feel better now? Does anybody have any more questions, thoughts, concerns?
Oh, great! I can't wait to get out of this uniform. That's
as long as we're on the same page now.
Anything, but you can't pull off the recruit uniform.
As long as we're on the same page now, like Jordan said,
it makes me look like a square. I'm square.
Just need to also let the doctors know that if they are, on doctor's side, that they need to let us go on runs before they do.
I will talk to you about that.
Right. Why do doctors need ambulances again?
For emergencies. That's why. That's what I'm talking about. Jasmine pulls her EMS out, her ambo out every single time she gets on duty.
I will talk to her about that and tell her, as a doctor, the EMTs on duty need to go first unless they can't respond to all calls. That's the reason.
I get it. I understand it. I just want to make sure that it's across the board, everyone understands what their roles are and what their duties are.
If there's one EMT awake and she wants to come as a ride along, I'm not going to tell her no.
You know what? I love riding along with Jasmine because she gets out there and she kills it.
As long as the EMTs, if there's more than one patient, I'm okay with the doctor picking up a patient. But if there's only one patient and both of you roll to it, I want the EMTs to pick up the patient.
That needs to be known across the board because that's not what it is
sometimes.
Let
that be known. To the doctors as well.
I also have a question because now I thought about it. So does that mean they can't do the ambulance mission stuff?
Can
be allowed to because
they're. I placed them. Okay. I placed them at a rank where they're able to get their own bus, and they'll be able to do that because that does not affect, like, if Jasmine were to go to a scene and pick up a patient, Jordan loses out on $1,400 for something that is not that is supposed to be his role.
Right.
If Jasmine takes a bus out and does the crazy taxi thing, she's getting her own money, and that does not affect Jordan in any way.
Okay, I'm just making sure I understood that part. I'm just making sure I understood that.
No, you completely understand. It's just like when I go out to do Uber, and I come back if I'm needed for surgery.
Get that, because there's times that we're deader than a doornail that none of us are doing anything but standing around in a circle talking shit, and so I get that.
EMTs picking people up, doctors can pick people up if they arrive on scene, and it's like, if there's like 5-6 patients, split.
That's true, especially at my role, which is a recruit at the moment, at $25 a tick. It absolutely makes no sense to stand around.
Doctors have a slightly higher base salary because they're supposed to be standing around here waiting for surgeries.
Yeah.
See this? You see
Yeah,
this
especially
man
at
right here?
my salary, it just doesn't make sense to be standing around.
Does he look good with the beard or without the beard? Honest opinions, go.
You know what's the problem with the beard in this city? Too many same